everyone, and welcome to this beginner level yoga Pilates blend class. I'm Tracy Renee Stafford, and I've been teaching yoga and Pilates and other mindful movement for several decades, and I just love how these two forms come together to have the perfect workout of mindfulness and core strength, and to improve posture, balance, flexibility, and body awareness. And so I teach online live classes, and here I'm going to give a compact version, and it's all going to be done lying onto the floor. And so I always want to give a good balance of a good flowing workout and good alignment tips and technique and modifications for safety. So please do listen to all the good information that I'm giving you, but most importantly, listen to your own body so that you feel really safe and supported. Okay, so we'll get started. If you can come to lying down onto the mat or onto the floor, making sure that's really comfortable for you. And I'm just putting out the idea that you might want to have a towel or a pillow for underneath your head. So as you come to lying down, I'm going to have the knees bent with the feet underneath the knees. Just see how your head feels when you're naturally lying down. You want to make sure your eyes are to the ceiling and that your neck is not pinched and you're not looking back. So if that's the case, that's when it's better to put something underneath your head or possibly underneath your neck if you have a neck issue. So just experiment with that so that you feel really comfortable there. Okay, knees bent, we're going to have the pelvis in what we call the neutral position. So if you can bring the heels of your hands onto your hip bones and then the fingertips across to the pubic bone, and just check that the hip bones and the pubic bone are level to each other. And so you can always move the pelvis one way or the other, and just check that it's level. And when it is, you should feel that right behind your belly button in the lower back, there's a small space. It's not big, you can probably barely get your hand underneath there, but that's our neutral position where you have that little bit of space, like when we're sitting and there's a lumbar support, it's the same idea. Okay, so the hip bones and the pubic bone are level, the hips are relaxed. And I'll get you to start off just focusing on the breath. And so if you can be breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. And just set up that rhythm, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. Okay, eyes are to the ceiling, head is comfortable. And as you're doing that, if you can bring your hands onto the sides of your ribs and just feel the ribs moving with the breath. And so as you're breathing in, you want to encourage the ribs to widen out to the sides of the room like an accordion, expanding open. And as you're breathing out, a feeling of the ribs squeezing down to a close, like the accordion is closing. Okay, inhaling, the accordion is slowly opening. Exhaling, slowly closing. Just take a few more breaths there. So we're breathing down into the bottom of the lungs, not breathing shallowly up into the chest. The shoulders are staying relaxed. And you don't need to breathe in a lot of air, so I don't want you to get dizzy. Okay, and we're going to use that breath to work on strengthening our abdominals. And so if you can have your hands laced together underneath your head with the elbows lifted so you can see them out of the corner of your eye and your shoulders down your back. Tilt your chin just slightly in so you're looking down your nose and your head is still on the floor when you do that. So it just makes the back of the neck a little longer. We're going to inhale to prepare. And as you breathe out, you're squeezing your ribs together and peeling your head, neck, and shoulders off the floor and inhaling as you curl down. Okay, we'll just do that. Breathing out, nod the chin in, squeeze the ribs together and down as you're curling up. Okay, this is quite a small movement because I don't want you to force with your arms or your upper body. Keep the head really heavy in the hands. Okay, we're going to keep that rhythm. Exhaling as you're curling up, really relaxing the chest as you breathe out, and inhaling as you curl down. So as you breathe out, you could feel as though you're sighing out your air. The chest is dropping down away from the chin. So even though we're strengthening the core, it's very relaxed through the chest.
okay? And through the shoulders, but the ribs are really squeezing in and the abdominals are pulling down. And so just notice that as you're curling up, you don't want your abdominals to dome up and make a little mountain. You're trying to pull the navel down towards the spine and flatten the muscles down as you're curling up. Okay, we're just gonna do a couple more. Make sure it feels comfortable in your neck and your head. Like I say, keep this small. And last one. Okay, and so that's part one. Part two is we're gonna add the legs. And so this space that's in the lower back, we're gonna flatten it down just to protect the back. So draw the navel in to press the lower back down using your core. Okay, so your legs should be really lazy. You're not pushing with your legs to make your back go down. It's all from the belly. And just see if you can keep the back down, keep the navel in, and float one leg off the floor at a time. And we'll do that again on breaths out. So every time you breathe out, you're floating one leg up and breathing in as it lowers. And you're keeping the back down, you're keeping the abdominals drawn in, and it's like the legs are like a marionette, like there's strings on your knees, they're just floating up, there's no effort there. Okay, so then we're gonna stick with that, or if you can advance, you're gonna bring both legs up into your chest. Now, if they're up, your back needs to stay down on the floor, so make sure if you're doing this level that it's down. And then we're gonna do the reverse, where you're lowering one foot down and alternating sides. Okay, so you pick which one that you're doing. Either you're doing this, lowering one foot to the floor, keeping your back down, or the legs are on the floor and you're lifting one up at a time, and the whole time you're keeping the back down with whichever version that you're doing, and just making sure it's not too much in your back. Okay, so I'll get you to land your feet. If you could just shake your tailbone like you're a happy puppy, just to release some tension in your back. Okay, and then we're gonna put that together with the upper body. So lace your hands together underneath your head, have the elbows lifted so you can see them in the corner of your eye, shoulders down and chin slightly tilted in. Breathe in to prepare, breathe out as you curl. Head, neck, and shoulders up, hold them up, imprint your back down into the floor, flattening it down, and then either floating one leg up at a time, like you were doing before, exhaling to lift, and inhaling to lower, like you're a marionette, or harder version, you start with the legs up, and you're lowering one foot down to touch. And with whichever version that you're doing, you're keeping the navel in towards the spine. You're keeping the back down. The head is heavy into your hands. Chin is tilted in. You're relaxing the chest like you're sighing out your air. So just even off your sides. And if you can land your head down, hug your legs into your chest. Just give a squeeze as much as you can, holding onto the shins or underneath. Again, working to get the back in as much contact as you can with the floor. Okay, great. And then if you can land the feet down, we'll do a twist through the spine. So start off with the feet shoulder width apart, quite wide, and we'll do this again in stages. And the arms wide out to the sides. So we'll begin where you inhale and roll the knees over to one side, lifting off the opposite hip, but not the shoulder, and then exhale as you come back to center, and then other side. So inhaling, letting the knees drop, the hip lifts, the shoulder stays down, and then exhale as you come back. And continue, so breathing in as you twist, and then use your breath out, squeezing your ribs in and pulling your navel in to bring you back. So the inhale is twisting, and then the exhale is using your core. And this should feel like a nice stretch through the hip. Like I say, just going to where you can, keeping the shoulders down, but you can really reach the knees. Okay, and then second level, we're gonna bring the feet right together and do the same thing. So as you inhale and lift the hip, the opposite foot is also gonna lift off the floor, and then breathing out as you pull yourself to center. Okay, so the opposite hip and foot lift, but the shoulder stays down, and then coming back to center. So breathing in as you twist and breathing out as you pull yourself back, okay? And then if that's going well, third level, we're going to do that with the legs in the air. So whenever the legs go into the air, you need to imprint your back first for safety, and then bring your legs up together and arms out to the side. Inhale as you sway your legs to the side, peeling off the hip but not the shoulder, same as before. Exhale, come back. Try to keep the knees right together. Inhaling as you go to the side and exhaling as you come back. So just continue with any of those three versions. You're breathing out as you pull the abdominals in and come back. You're breathing in as you twist. Okay, just doing a few more to each side. Okay, just moving in the range of motion that feels safe for your spine, so the upper body can stay spread out, the shoulders can stay relaxed. And once you're even, if you can land your legs down, stretch your right leg down to the floor and bring your left leg up, and hold on behind your left leg, behind the thigh or the calf, wherever it works, and just flex your left foot. So you're reaching the heel up and you'll already feel a stretch through your calf. And so I want your left leg to be really straight. If you can pull up through the quadriceps, so you should feel your kneecap is pulled up. Your leg is straight because, or as straight as possible, because of your muscles. Okay, so you're not locking or hyperextending the knee, you're pulling it up. And then the other leg is pressing down into the floor. And so this is a really small movement. As you inhale, you're going to push your left leg away from you into your hands. And as you exhale, you're pulling it in towards you. So the leg is going to maybe move an inch, inhaling as it pushes away, and exhaling as it pulls towards. If your hands are behind your thigh, your leg might not even be straight. That's fine. You can do that where you inhale and press it to straight, and then exhaling as it bends. That works as well. Okay, so there's this push-pull, and this push-pull helps to activate the stretch, which actually will increase your flexibility a little bit sooner. Okay, you're keeping the kneecap pulled up, you're flexing the heel to the ceiling, the shoulders are back and down, the head is neutral, so again, just check if you need anything underneath your head. Okay, and then from here, hold your leg up as straight as you comfortably can. Bring your hands onto your hips and make small circles with the leg. Inhaling for one circle and exhaling for one. And I want you to make the circle the size that you can keep your pelvis really flat on the floor. So if your hips are wobbling, then your circle is too big. Okay, and if your hips are stable, you can challenge yourself and make the circle bigger. Okay, so just reverse your direction, breathing in for one circle, breathing out for one. Okay, trying to hold the leg straight. So it's a stretch, but it's also a workout. I'm sure you can feel that. Okay, and then once you're even, bend your left leg. Take it with your right hand and bring it across the body into a twist, bringing the leg across the body. And so here we're going to hold the stretch. And so if the left shoulder does lift off the floor, that's all right for the stretch, because we're just going to stay and breathe and direct the breath into the lower back. And direct the breath into the chest, into the front of the left shoulder. And on your next breath out is bring yourself back up to center, and then we'll go to the other side. So bringing your right leg up, left leg down, holding on behind the thigh or the calf. Flex your right foot so the heel is reaching up to the ceiling, the toes are pulling back towards your face. Have the shoulders back and down and the chin in. Inhale as you push your leg away from you. Exhale as you're pulling it in towards you. Okay, if you can, pulling up the quadriceps, so it is a workout. The kneecap is pulling up your thigh. Again, the leg might press out to straight and into bend. That's fine too. Okay, having that push and pull, but the whole time keeping the shoulders back and down. And you want to lengthen out through your right hip. So we're trying to keep the pelvis really level. Both sides of the spine are long. And just finish this last one here. And then if you can bring your hands onto your hips, holding steady, circle the leg, inhaling for one circle, exhaling for one circle. Just moving in the range where you can keep your pelvis really steady. So you want to imagine that there's like a seat belt pulled tight across your hips, holding the hips still. That's your abdominal muscles. Okay, go the other way. And so you can challenge yourself by making the circle bigger, but as long as the pelvis is staying stable the whole time. Okay, and the shoulders are staying relaxed, so you're really working your core, but the upper body is easy. Okay, once you're even, bend the right leg, bring it across your body with your opposite hand, come into a twist, and staying here. If the shoulder lifts off the floor, that's all right. Now we're just going to hold the twist, and breathe into the back, and breathe into the shoulder. Good, finishing this last breath. Good, and then come back to center. All right, and then if you can roll to the side, press yourself up to sitting, and just coming up to sitting in the best posture that you can. Okay, so feel a string pulling up through the crown of the head, and feeling that string pulling up so much that the body is able to lengthen down, like you're hanging down from that string. Okay, eyes can be open or closed. And just keeping the rhythm of your breath here. Feeling the collarbones wide, the shoulder blades heavy, feeling the weight of the arms and the hands. Just feeling the length of your torso, the weight of the pelvis and the legs where they're making contact with the ground. And just remembering this feeling of the posture, really long and easy and full of breath. And just remembering this posture throughout the rest of your day, throughout the rest of your week. And whenever you feel like you've lost your posture, lost your connection, then you just come back and we'll keep practicing. So thanks very much for joining me. I hope that that felt really wonderful and helpful and informative and useful and challenging and interesting and all of that. Thanks very much. Have a great day. Be well.